good morning, good evening, wherever you are in Dark Ages. It's Edessa, season two by night, and in today's scene, local golden sorcerer and nerd Magnificent has decided that he may grace the world of his presence outside of the Dread Fort because, well, he wants books. Wants books. Books are amazing. Books are fine, and they don't talk back to you, which makes them more interesting than people. So Eclios has been going contact to his contact in the local monastery to, well, first get a book that he has asked, and perhaps then make and fuck, I forget my English words. Mm, a pre-order. Yeah, let's go. You want to make a pre-order and back this Kickstarter project of let's make more book. So this is where we will start our scene as Ecleus is within the vicinity of the monastery talking to Brother Atreus and exchanging comments about, well, scriptures.
Excuse me. On the other side of, well, I don't want to say necessarily on the other side of town, but Ecleos, you may see this gentleman right here, with another man by his side, who would appear to be dressed in the garbs of city watchman. Um, and as you're talking with your contact, you'll notice city watchman kind of gesture in the direction of the building. Um, the gentleman before you here, um, they share some words, and the city watchman departs. And yeah, this gentleman here, he will come as close to the steps of this monastery. And Ecleos is standing, you said, in the vicinity of it, out on the outside, I take it?
Yeah, he's on, and I realized I was muted when I was answering to you. Yeah, he's standing on the outside of the monastery where there's a few brothers uh, standing on the outside, preaching preaching a little bit with their fancy books and their fancy beliefs to a few passers-by who stopped because, well, monks are nice. That's what they do. They're nice, and they give you food in exchange if you listen for a little bit of time to talk about our Lord and Savior.
You may notice that this gentleman here, he looks disgusted. Might be too strong a word, but they're whatever they're talking about, it doesn't seem to move him the slightest. And I'm guessing, would it be fair to say that Ecleos, given his attire, kind of stands out from the monks, or does he just blend in with the rest of the monks?
I mean, I mean, yes, technically. Let me find it. Let me find it back. But yes. Ecleos have the I stand out, I stand out outfits.
Okay. Um, well, Memnon, he'll kind of look to you and ask, I hear this is a place where one may acquire books. Is that right?
And he is going to slowly turn clockwise as he lays his eye upon you. There is always knowledge to be found near monasteries. Yes.
Um, you'll see Memnon start to then proceed and walk up the steps. He'll ask you if you are the proprietor or the patron.
I am not proprietor of this monastery. No, this would be the prior who you would need to talk to if that is who you wish to find. I am a patron of enlightenment.
Memnon kind of he squeezes out a terse smile. Hmm. Yes, enlightenment. Knowledge is the most powerful of weapons, aren't they?
Hmm. It is true, even if sometimes weapons also do a very good job. But we tend to get books dirty.
Well, that's what they make the scabbards for.
Hmm. So you are interested in ordering or buying perhaps a book from brothers.
Yes. Though I'm not quite familiar with their orders, I hear they are the most often literate of a city's denizens. Do they collect or produce any material in the academics, scholarly fields? Not so much the theological.
Hmm. Monks generally tends to focus more on theology, as it is part of their way of living by producing scriptures for high paying patrons. They tend to they tend to make their living as prayers of, well, their orders can only get them power. But I have witnessed that generally the Orthodox based monks are perhaps a little bit more open to academic matter and even exchange of knowledge with, as he makes a pause thinking about something, as you can, like, you don't need to peony, you can see that it's a guy who is probably trying to find the right word as if he was looking through files in his mind with the followers of Muhammad, even if sometimes that would be frowned upon by the other side of the church.
Um, well, I'm not gonna make you do a peony for this, but you notice at the word Muslims, there's a subtle twitch in his eye.
But I do not believe that you would be searching for Muslim poetry, otherwise you would not be in this quarter.
No, I find them to be, well, I've had my run ins with them in the past. Best leave well enough alone.
Well, if so, to you want to buy academics,
Yes,
classic Greek philosopher, perhaps.
no, more like a collection of research by former masters of the forge. I am a smith, you see. The secrets of steel, of ore, fire, those hold my interests.
Hmm. He actually seems very perplexed as he's thinking as his gears again starts to work, as you can clearly see, like yeah, loading data, loading data. Wait. Hmm. I believe that would be perhaps a premiere in their work. I would have thought. Then again, the craft workmen, I guess, rely more on secrecy of their own practice in order to maintain their guild up and onward, facing their other. And God damn it, I can't find my fucking word. My fucking English word. Uh, okay, just give me a second because it's gonna drive me nuts. Because I know this word. I know this fucking word. I swear. Help me, word reference. You're my only hope. God damn it, competition. And yes, that's when he finished his sentence. But, hmm, but it's still a shame that the Alexandrian library is no more. Hmm, I believe it is possible for them find find things. I think it will be probably more of a how do I put it? I think if they go towards their different books, or probably more in your case, papyrus papers or scrolls, they might find information that they might perhaps gather into a more condoned book.
Though I may not have an appreciation for their more spiritual pursuits, I've always thought that the architecture these monastic orders can display must surely hold some great secrets of way of masons. You know, it is said that tradesmen of the world are the children of Cain.
You get a silence as he looks at you with his cold eyes that really seems to strip you as he inspects you. Then he will snap he will snap a finger and wave off Brother Atreus. Perhaps we may have a more private conversation inside. Let us not
Mhm.
let us not let privy ears hear what they should not hear.
Memnon will just nod and gesture if you would lead the way.
And yeah, he will lead Memnon in the inside of the on the inside of the library, the monastery of a monastery, and lead him to a closed room, who is probably a monk cell
Okay.
where they can have some privacy. I believe that introductions are in order. I am Eclias Obertus, neonate of Clan Denitzi, child of the Lady Primogen. And who you might be, mysterious forgeman?
I am Memnon of Clan Lasombra, neonate, child of Giuliano Orsini. It is good to meet you. I did not actually know if you were one of us.
As he smirks. Irene tell me that my manners always give something away.
Not your manners, sir. It was what I had said. I had thought about it for some nights, some way to covertly let those know that I may be amongst them and they amongst me. For what I said is true. It is said in some secret writings that gifts of the smiths and the artisans, the gifts of Cain, though they do not know the true story.
History has a strange way to find its resonance. But so you are looking for a book on forging or knowledge regarding the forge. Any thing in particular would be of your interest?
Ways to contain fire, materials that make fire burn bright. I am specifically also, if there was some design, architecture, a way to contain the heat, flame from the outside, like an oven, I assume.
Yes, the fire is slightly problematic for our kind after all. Having it contain and working at its maximum efficiency would be indeed very much needed. As he thinks, well, for architecture. For architecture, I do not believe that you will have any difficulty to find anything, any theory about it. I am pretty sure that, well, since the monks have as well as their order and their belief is deeply stated, they have constructed the monastery with their own hand, assisted, of course, by a few masons. But I do not think it would be too far stretched for them to apply the theories of architecture and mathematics to come up with a way to actually make your forge more efficient. As for perhaps the more mm, fire related of your problem, I think that we may find ways to find the answer that you need. Otherwise, I may I may be able to look into the Assamite library for you.
His eyes perk up at that. And in exchange for this magnanimous favor that I would deeply appreciate.
Mm. As you have said, knowledge knowledge is power. The more knowledge you gather, stronger you would become. Hmm. As he thinks, I have a pretty strong memory. One can be said that whenever I look at something, I always remember. And I, being raised by monks, I can write very well. So I could go to the Assamite, read the proper books of forging, and give you a more thoughtful insight. As for a payment, mm, I would say I would very much be interested in knowledge of Clan La Sombra, its history, its traditions.
Hmm. I would only be able to relate to you what little I do know. I am young to the night, but perhaps I can tell you some of the stories in my travels that my sire shared with me.
Mm. Small knowledge is better than an empty oasis. Even small parcels still holds meaning and understanding. I would very much appreciate hearing those stories of travels.
There was there was this tale that my sire related to me that, well, the darkness and the shadows we Lasamra control are connected in some way beyond just a symbolic meaning with waters. There's always been a seafaring spirit to the clan. There's something about the ocean that provides more than just a tactical advantage. I'm sure you can imagine there, dead of night, with only a moon to guide you and the stars. So much shadow, so much darkness. Yes, that would be to our advantage. However, it is said that, as my sire put it, we were always pirates, going from one hovel of civilization to the next, taking what we need, passing over man like a thief in the night. It is strange, then, how here we are in these modern times, so very sedentary, located in these cities of mortar and brick. But I also heard it said that even those who've never experienced the sea, once they've joined us in the night, something about it calls out to them. Whatever lands we hailed from, who knows? But in the histories where there have been great migrations of people, suddenly there is war and strife. You can find our shadows, that darkness.
That is interesting. Have you ever felt the call of a deep sea?
I was forged upon the seas. The man you see before you now is not the man that was born. Gee, I just threw an enigma at you and I didn't even mean to, but
You're gonna make me roll intelligence enigma. To be like, and for that we're watching and we're like, yes, I understand. No, I don't.
the fuck do you mean?
My brain. My brain. Uh just yes, once again, my brain. I have 4 successes.
Oh, shit, that's a good one. Okay. All right. Backtracking, you realize Memnon introduced himself as Memnon, not a person with some reason he doesn't seem to have a last name of some sort. He did introduce his sire with the first name and a last name. And when he references that he was forged on the seas, he referenced himself as the man you see before you, forged upon the seas. But I was not born there. You can definitely get that Memnon is not his real name.
Yeah, somehow currently in Actio's mind, it's like I get the feeling that this guy was probably a free workers of the sea in and he used to paddle a lot, probably.
Perhaps. But yeah. What? But I guess you can definitely point out that whatever happened to him on the sea has defined him since, wherever he was.
Okay. And he nods. Yes, I have to say that perhaps this is why our clans, even if obviously feeling wary about each other, have certain connection or understanding of some sort. You feel the call of the sea. My kind feels the call of the earth and the wind.
You are the first Shamisi I've met. I I was not told much about your clan, although my sire did speak with a certain fear of respect with fear.
Clan Tzimitzi is very well defined by its nickname. We are dragons. We do enjoy our territories. It is our home, and we have a deep-rooted understanding of what happens in it. And, well, for those who trespass uninvited, our wrath is exemplary. But for those who are polite and invited, they can find no better friend than Utsumitsi. For our word is our bound and honor.
Those are all admirable qualities.
I will get you that knowledge to the best of my capabilities and access. Should I not be able to deliver to you what you have given me, I will give you back something in return. It is only fair that if I tell you I can give you something and cannot deliver, that you gain still something. No knowledge should be free.
Memnon nods. He'll say, "That is most honorable of you, sir. You could find me most nights at the forge in the guild halls. If I am not there, you may leave a message, some note, some kind. I am literate enough."
And he smirks. I would believe so if you ask for books.
True.
As for me, you may leave a message here. I spend most of my days in Vitzimissi Fort on the outskirts of the city. But Brother Atreus is always kind to pass messages when they are delivered here. Have you met Lady Irene?
Irene Argress, yes?
Yes.
Yes, she is very amiable lady.
Hmm. Okay, what did you say that she's very what?
Amiable.
Amiable. Okay, yeah.
Why would you
He
listen?
yeah, he smirks. Yes. One would say that she is.
Almost frighteningly so.
He yeah, he he gives a small chuckle. Oh, yes. But she does not la- she does not lack courage when needed be.
I can attest to that.
Oh, really?
Have
I
you
would
seen
I would very much like to know about this.
have you seen a woman in white near Abraham's fountain before?
Hmm. No, I have not. I've heard rumors of a cult that may be roaming around the city lately, but no, not of a white woman.
When I first came into Edessa, I had passed by that fountain, not knowing the nature of it. I found it hard to be there. If you have, then I would assume you know what I speak. But this woman there, this woman in white, she performed, I suppose, what peasants would call miracles upon the sick and the poor. We locked eyes, me and her. There was power in them. A power that even I must admit that I took the prudent course of avoiding. Irene, on the other hand, well, she just marched up right there and had a little conversation with her on a bench. So, what she related to me afterwards seemed she had been very shaken by what she beheld in that woman's eyes.
Hmm. Well, that is very, very interesting. And I have to say that this is indeed a very iron thing to do. Well, at least she is. Say someday I fear that she may uncover something a little bit too big for her before me and our coterie mate would be able to prevent any, mm, well, violent encounter.
Hmm. Which reminds me, I should make that sword very sharp, which she ordered.
Hmm.
She'll need it.
Yes, I remember her telling me about how she has started to work with weapons. A very intelligent idea, considering, well, the dark days that we live in. One can never be too prudent.
Are you trained in any armaments?
I have. I had a teacher at some point, but she went back to the old country. And I have been more focusing on my learning than my practice, which I should perhaps work back on.
See a smile creep over Memnon's face. He'll say, well, perhaps some night we could train, spar.
Mm,
I'm rusty from my long travels myself.
mm. Indeed, we could, and perhaps then we may also exchange a more lucrative kind of conversation with an order for a weapon.
A weapon of good quality at a fair price, I assure you.
And nods. Well, Lord Memnon, I have to go back to my studies. I will have Brother Atreus accompany you back. to the exit of a monastery. Or he can show you around if you would wish to have a look at the workshop.
Hmm. I would peruse, but I'll await for what you may find.
Mm. He nods. Then I shall start working. And he gets up and he he will extend a hand.
Memnon will take it and shake it like twice rigorously.
Mm. A pleasure to make business with someone who appreciates the value of knowledge.
It is refreshing. The wealth of knowledge. Well, I think, as my sire once put it, a penny of knowledge is worth more than a gold of gossip.
Mm. A very wise quote indeed.
Out of character. I don't know if they use pennies necessarily here, but
I mean, nobody cares. The important thing is that we get the idea.
yeah, okay.
And with that, I think that we may call this a scene. Thank
Okay.
you, player, for playing, watchers for watching, and we will catch you another time on Odessa Nerd Edition.
See you later.